The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. Sat opposite me in the studio this morning is Bruce, who's from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. So, very good morning to you, Bruce. How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Good morning.
How long have you been at Dooralong now, Bruce?
Yeah, 4 months now. It's about 4 months.
Are you a different person now than the Bruce we would have met 4 months ago?
Totally changed, man.
Yeah.
It really is a transformation centre. In saying that, it's and they've got some beautiful people out there that have helped me along the journey.
So one of the better decisions you've made in life to sort of sign up to Dooralong?
Absolutely, it's been an awesome journey. I've got a month until I graduate the program now, so it's I'm reflecting on how tough it has been mentally, but
yeah.
In saying that, I'm also looking forward to getting back out there in society and sort of giving back to what they've given me.
It's an exciting time for you, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Going back into society, because I can see that you're a young enough guy. You've got your whole life in front of you. You get to write the next few chapters of the book.
Yeah, definitely.
With a clear head.
With a clear mind, yes. Clear conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the journey that led you to Dooralong? When you were telling me just before we started that it was drugs that sort of has led you to Dooralong. What about that journey to Dooralong? Where did it all go wrong for you, Bruce?
Well, it's the third time I've been in Dooralong. The first couple of times I wasn't doing it so much for me, but I sort of hit rock bottom when I looked around and didn't have like people my own age, like cars and kids and all these assets, which it's not the most important thing in life, but I got to a point where I thought I was going backwards.
So, as you say, they're not the most important things, but they're indicators that they're living a life and moving forward.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And it's something that, like, I haven't got the things that I want out of life yet, and that was just stopping me. So life was unmanageable, totally unmanageable. I got to a point where I couldn't hold down a job, no car, no sort of stable place, no independence.
Yeah.
Drugs sort of stripped all that from me.
And so when you thought of what the future would hold for you, there would be just a big fat zero there, nothing.
Absolutely.
Time to sort things out.
Time to sort things out and do it the right way this time. So.
You were telling me just before we started that it started with sort of soft drugs, I suppose, around mid-teens.
Yeah, definitely. It was sort of socially would smoke pot and drink, and then slowly sort of went into speed and other party drugs like ecstasy and stuff like that, where throughout my 20s I thought I was what they call a functional addict. I could still hold down a job and have a car and things like that, but when ice came into my life, it just started stripping me of all the things that I'd worked hard for. I was a certified personal trainer working at the gym, and that just sort of went to the wayside. Yeah. I felt like I was a walking contradiction at prescribing exercise and health to people, whilst at the same time I was doing ice. So
sort of an advocate for a healthy lifestyle, and then you've got this secret that you're hiding from your clients.
100%, yeah. So it didn't take long for me to spiral out of control. It would have been, sort of 2-3 years, and then it just my life became totally unmanageable.
We hear so much about ice. We've heard so much about ice on Wednesday mornings here with people that we speak to from Dooralong, and how it's in a completely different sort of league. It's really a step up, or step down really is probably a better way of putting it, from those recreational drugs that you were talking about. Yes,
definitely. The addiction, like how heavily addicted you can become so quickly is quite scary, especially for the younger generation today. When I was a teenager, we used to, as I say, smoke sort of pot socially, and that was acceptable, but these days the teenagers are starting to smoke ice and take ice like it was pot back in our days, and that is quite scary, because by the time they sort of hit their 20s, they're not developed in the right ways physically, mentally. It's pretty scary for society out there these days.
So how is it different being an addict as far as the soft drugs and cannabis and pot are concerned, and being an addict and hooked on ice?
It strips you of everything, self-esteem. You stop having fun. That's whereas I would take other social drugs and have so much fun, go to music festivals and party and all weekend and then go to work. Whereas ice will sort of keep you going, and when the weekend stopped and the week comes around and you're still up, you haven't slept, you become sleep deprived, you don't eat.
Takes its toll on your body physically.
Its toll, definitely on your body.
Yeah.
You can actually end up with muscle dystrophy. It'll start eating away at the good parts of your body to become malnutrition.
Because we do see those before and after photos of people that, before they started taking ice and then 6 months after taking ice, and it's like looking at two different people.
100%.
It's scary, isn't it?
Lucky that I've got good genes in that sense.
Yeah. Would you say that taking the cannabis was the gateway to ice? Because there's a lot of controversy, isn't there, about people saying, we should legalise cannabis, it doesn't do any more harm than smoking, and others say, yes, but it's really a pathway and a gateway to the hard stuff that we've been talking about.
It's a tough one. I was always an amphetamine user before ice came along, so it wasn't too hard for me to get hooked on that.
Yeah.
I think any sort of any other drug can become a gateway to ice because it's always around. Like if you've got cocaine, ice isn't too far away.
Yeah, it's available.
Ecstasy, ice isn't too far away from that.
So what did it do to you? I mean, it robbed you of any sort of purpose in life. What did it do to relationships and families, sort of getting on with mum and dad and things like this?
Well, definitely. It's I'm hoping that that now that I've sort of coming to the end of the program and completing it, I've got a better relationship with mum and dad and my family, my sister. It's caused relationship breakdowns. Drugs have always were more important than my relationships. So when I look back, each relationship has
taken second place.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It's like a mistress. It's like a bad mistress that
demanding.
Yeah,
and very greedy.
You always choose that. Yeah.
Definitely
walking with the devil.
Yeah. You were saying that you have been to Dooralong before, and again, we've spoken to lots of guys that have been to Dooralong more than once. But you said something interesting a little while ago that you weren't doing it for yourself on those previous occasions. What did you mean by that?
Well, the first two times it was for my family. I knew that I had a problem. I wasn't in denial about my addiction, but it was more for mum and dad, and so I knew how much it was affecting them. But this time, after hitting rock bottom, I made the conscious decision that it was for me.
So the motivation is different, is what you're saying?
Absolutely,
the motivation
different motivator.
Before was to please mum and dad, and but now it's because you just want to do it for yourself.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that makes a difference, does it?
100%. Yeah.
Feels different.
It feels different this time. I'm just ticking off boxes, ticking little goals. I've got a motorbike license. I'm doing a few different things with acting courses.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to finish my diploma in fitness and be able to manage a gym one day.
Into the fitness area.
Yeah. So I'm sort of ticking off little goals as I've come along, which is They're only little ones, but they're sort of big ones when it's in recovery, because you look back and I wouldn't have been able to achieve those things, not at all. No.
Let's break for some music, Bruce, and then we'll come back and see how things have been for this last sort of 5 months that you've been at Dooralong. It's 10:20. You'll end this Wednesday morning, the 1st of May, talking to Bruce from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. He talked to us earlier about the descent into ice and what it did to his life, and robbed his life of any purpose, any meaning, any direction whatsoever. Bruce has been to Dooralong before, but really it was, well, for other people he was going. He was trying to please other people in his life, but this time round he's doing it because he wants to do it, and Bruce was telling us it's made a huge difference. So what's life been like for the last sort of 4 or 5 months at Dooralong?
It's been a fun journey. It's the fellowship there is second to none. without the other guys that you share that common goal with, it wouldn't be as easy. Wouldn't be as easy.
That's right, because it is a long-term sort of place. People are there for months, and those relationships you build up, or the people you share your cabin with, they're almost as important, perhaps, as the counsellors and the psychologists that they have there.
Absolutely, yeah. The friendships that I've formed in there with a few of the boys, Jordan, Anthony, Adam, and yeah, it's just like they'll be friends after I leave. Yeah, for life.
Friends formed in adversity are friends for life.
That's right. That's right. The caseworkers out there, they're just beautiful people. Major Gav, Lyndall, they are really just beautiful people. They can tell that it puts a smile on their face knowing that they're helping transform people's lives for the better. And just couldn't be more appreciative and grateful of all the people out there.
So there's no sense when you realise, because you've been to Dooralong before, and when you realise that, look, I'm going to have to do something for myself this time, there was no sense in you that said, well, let's try something different from Dooralong, let's look for another sort of centre. There was no question of that. You knew that was the place to be?
Absolutely. It's an old resort, so it's still got that nice feel of
cabins in the bush.
That's right. Like my nan and pop stayed out there quite some years ago and paid quite a bit of money to stay out there for a 3-day weekend, and I've used that every time things were getting sort of tough in there. I thought, this is a resort, and it's just got that same feel about it. They haven't really changed that too much.
And we've spoken to people who've said that just being, and this isn't going to work for everybody, but for some people, just being in nature and seeing the wildlife around them, the birds and the sort of kangaroos apparently, and the wombats, that can be therapeutic in itself.
100%. Like, we've got a few new pets now. We've got kangaroos and possums that we sort of talk to at night, and have a good bond with the animals as well as the people. It's a very therapeutic community, and I'm just glad that I've been a part of it for the past few months.
Just wouldn't get that in a city centre rehab either, would you?
No,
that sense of peace.
I don't think so. No, not for myself. It's just that it's so part of nature. And waking up to the water every morning on the dam, it's beautiful and serene. The landscape's a very important part of how therapeutic it can be.
It's healing in itself, isn't it?
It is healing in itself.
It's a healing place.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are some of the courses that you've been sort of working hard on for the last 4 months that have perhaps made a real difference for you?
I haven't really done too many courses, but I did do I got picked for helping the farmers at Quambone. We went out there and helped the farmers for a week.
New South Wales, really, isn't it?
Yeah. That was quite a good trip.
So was that recently?
That was about 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago now.
So you went there to help mend fences and things like this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we helped rip down a few fences. We helped clean up, just pretty much whatever they needed doing. We were there to help on hand. And it just put things into perspective when I got back, just the small things. Like, if you're having a bad day, it can't compare to what a bad day that they're having. And they wake up just every day happy to be alive. So.
And they're obviously, we know they're doing it tough, but for you to spend a week there with them every day, and realise that this is their life.
That's their life every day, and that they just wake up with the same happy smile on their face and are ready to go each day. So that was
humbling.
Very humbling, very, very humbling. It was a great experience, and I'm very appreciative for being picked for that too.
So you're coming towards the end of your stay at Dooralong this time. You graduate, you say, in about a month's time. How do you feel about that?
It's been very I got told that yesterday, so I've just been reflecting on the whole time that I've been there, and when I first got in there, how transformed I actually am. And it's what my mum said to me a month or two after being there. She said she feels like she's got her son back. So that's been really special to sort of hear that from my parents.
So they notice a difference in you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. So that's very important. Yeah, it's just been awesome. I play soccer with the chef from the kitchen in there. Play with his Christian team on a weekend.
Yeah, don't upset the chef. Make sure you lose, otherwise. Yeah, you don't want to upset those guys.
That's a great camaraderie, because
Yes.
a few of the boys, 4 or 5 of us from the rehab, actually play in his Christian soccer team on Saturdays. So
Yeah.
that's something we all look forward to on game day, and come back into the rehab talking about like the good time that we had. And
Yeah.
no, it's good camaraderie.
That's a sort of healthy drug, chasing that adrenaline rush, isn't it?
Well, that's right.
You
Like,
know.
that's another thing. I haven't played sport for quite a while, and it's just another gift of recovery.
Yeah, gift
in
of
itself.
recovery.
Yeah.
You mentioned they're playing soccer in a local sort of Christian league. Mentioning Christianity there, how does the whole Christianity thing sit with you?
Look, it's definitely. I believe in there's a higher power. There's
Something out there.
well, it's a higher power has restored me to sanity. It's a power greater than me. I've been quite open to it.
Yeah.
I go to church on Sundays and have a good time there, and we have chapel every Wednesday night, which is quite powerful.
Yes.
Like it's a brilliant energy.
Yes.
That we have every Wednesday night, so it's something to look forward to tonight.
Yeah.
It's,
And that energy, and the listeners know that we at REMA have been there, but so we can speak personally. It's almost tangible, that energy that's in the room on the Wednesday night. You can almost touch it, can't you?
It is. It's mind blowing. It's a very special time of the week. We all get together and celebrate the transformation of all our lives, and it's something that I plan to do when I leave the place, to come out on Wednesday nights and have a meal with everybody and catch up, and just stay sort of involved as much as I can.
So you will not be turning your back on Dooralong when
Not
you
at
leave.
all. Not at all. If I can do a little bit of volunteer work here and there with them, and just to give back to what they've given me so much.
Maybe personal training.
Well, that's right. I do train a few of the boys in there at night.
Yeah.
So anything. I'd put my hand up for anything for them, because I just couldn't be more appreciative and grateful of them out there.
Okay. It's 24 minutes to 11. You're listening to 94.9. You're listening to Bruce from the Dooralong Transformation Centre, who's been telling us of his journey to Dooralong, and the fact that he will be graduating very soon from Dooralong. So, as well as it being an exciting time, which you've shared with us, you feel excited about graduation, quite rightly, it's also a worrying time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in the back of your mind that a relapse is possible, or to slipping back into old habits. But I think if you practice what they've taught you out there in consequential thinking, manageability, I'll be okay.
What do you mean by consequential thinking?
Just thinking about your actions, what will come from your actions. That's been a big one. Mitch, the caseworker, taught me that early in the piece, and I've used that quite a bit throughout my recovery journey, and I continue. If I use the tools that they've taught me at Dooralong, then I should be fine.
And this time round, those ideas of consequential thinking and sort of coping strategies, they're more deeply embedded perhaps within yourself than they were when you were previously at Dooralong.
Absolutely, yeah. I never really gave a thought about my actions, or how they would affect other people, family, whatnot. So I've got a clearer conscience now.
Yeah.
I have a clearer thought pattern, and with that will come better actions.
Yeah. And there's perhaps a sense, if you haven't thought it through as deeply, or if you're there with the wrong motivation, there's always a danger that pride creeps in, and you think, oh, I could manage just one, I'll be fine, it'll be okay, I'm on top of it, I'm almost cured.
Yeah, see, that the first couple of times, you got to come to terms with the fact that I'm a recovering addict for the rest of my life. You're never cured of it. It's something that you wake up every day and go to bed with every night. So it's something that you've just got to be aware of, and keep your guard up.
Yeah.
Keep your guard up, so to speak. So it's a fight, but it's a fight that I plan to win.
And do they provide you with, apart from strategies, they don't just close the door on you, do they, and sort of say, "See you, Bruce.
Definitely
have a good
not.
life."
Definitely not. There's a continuing care plan program which I signed up for quite some time ago. That they give you, phone support. I think they might come out and see you once or something like that, but it's ongoing counselling and stuff like that to see where you're at, and just to make sure that you're up to date with your case plan and your exit strategy and stuff like that. So that's a big one.
Important.
That's very, very important.
Yeah.
Just going to meetings and things like that, and just touching base with NA and the outside
career-wise, what I mean, you've told us you're a personal trainer. Is that an ambition of yours to get
absolutely
back into that?
It's something that I want to pursue again. I plan to finish get my diploma and go into a management position.
And I have to tell the viewers that Bruce, he looks like every personal trainer that you would imagine. He's fit and he's young and he's, so
I appreciate that.
You look as if you should be a personal trainer. But that's an ambition for you to get back into.
Definitely, it's been a passion of mine since I became a personal trainer, and helping people achieve their dreams and goals is something that I always said I'll do for free, because it's so satisfying and rewarding.
And another thing you told me when we were speaking off air is that even when you've left Dooralong, you wouldn't mind going back there and teaching some keep fit and sort of personal training exercise regime for the guys who are still at Dooralong.
Absolutely. They've got volunteer workers that go out and help on the property or things like that, but anything, I'd put my hand up to do anything for them, because as I mentioned before, I just couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of the people out there. They're just wonderful souls, and to give back to them would be great. And
that connection that you would therefore have with Dooralong, it will help ground you as well, won't it?
Oh, definitely, just to know where I've come from and where I am. I guess looking back at the time there will help me sort of strive forward into the future, and just to become a contributing member of society again.
And finally, Bruce, how are things with Mum, Dad? And you've mentioned your sister. Are they better than they have been for a number of years? Or? Yeah,
they are. They couldn't be more proud of them what I've been doing, and just the relationships, our personal relationships with them have gotten so much better, and you don't realise how bad you've sort of done, how badly you've damaged it until it gets better again, because you realise how bad it was when it's good again. So,
and it really must be hard, mustn't it, for a parent who can see their son sort of on a spiral towards destruction sort of thing, but being helpless because there's nothing they can do. They can't make you do anything.
No,
they just
that's
have
right.
to stand by and watch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, I put them through hell, but now I'm giving them a slice of heaven, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Look, it's been an absolute delight to have you out here. It's chapel night, of course, tonight.
Yep.
So you'll be going back for your roast meal.
Yeah, going back for roast and get to sort of celebrate everyone else's transformations and watch them stand up and get their certificates and stuff like that. So
knowing that in a month's time that will be you.
So I have to sort of start preparing a speech and what I'm going to say, but that shouldn't be a problem, because there's so many good things to talk about.
Yeah. Bruce, we pray God's blessing on you and your future life, and your mum and dad are proud of you, your sister's proud of you, and I hope you're proud of yourself as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's looking back now with what I've achieved, knowing that I'll be leaving the place, I'm definitely proud of myself.
You've got the tools to continue.
Yeah, got the tools to keep hammering away.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.